Welcome to the show presented by VDG Sports. I'm your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. Yes, I have a basically amazing show for you. Where it's coming from, where it came from, I don't know. But hey, it is what it is. It's Manny being Manny. And how many games does the MLB play in a month? A team, basically, roughly. I imagine that's what the question is. I imagine that's what it is. And also, why does the quarterback get paid more than the other players on this team? Well, that's a tricky one. And that's a trick question, but don't worry, don't fret. I will get down to the nitty gritty. Don't worry, family program. I won't be showing anything. And my all-time favorite, because I don't know why or how this keeps coming up, but it always seems to. But I'm going to put an end to it once and for all until it comes up again. And when it does, I'm just going to say, really? We doing this again? And that is, college football is better than NFL. I know, but it's not me. I'm not saying this. It's not me. I'm not saying this. Now, if we were to just logically do it in our mind's eye with the baseball and how many games it's played in a month, I don't know where you actually want to go. I don't know what rabbit hole you want me to jump through on this. Are you referring to all of the baseball teams playing? Or are you referring to one particular baseball team playing? Assuming there's no lockout or strike going on. But hey, for future reference, we're just going to ignore anything like that or any conditions that will prevent the games from actually playing or abnormal conditions, period. We're just going to go ahead and put that in a box and we're going to throw it that way. Then we're going to throw it that way. And then we're just going to wrap it up some more and throw it again. Why are we throwing it 3 times? 3 strikes, you're out, homie. 3 strikes, you're out. I assume that we're referring to one baseball team playing in a month. And let's just say there are 4 weeks in a month. Let's just say that. Let's just say that because we might not be able to agree on that, but we're just going to set that standard and say there are 4 weeks in a month. And within that 1 week, there's 7 days. Yes, 7 days in 1 week. And there's 4 weeks total in a month. I know it's a crazy concept. It's a crazy idea. Who would have thunk? Who would have came up with this? Your guess is good as mine. But for the purpose of this, that's what it's going to be. And to determine how many games, roughly, how many games a Major League Baseball team is going to play within that month. So assuming there's 4 weeks in a month and there's 7 days within a week, during those 7 days, series are the number of times a baseball team play each other. Like if team A is playing team B, or you need to be specific, if the Atlanta Braves are playing the Los Angeles Dodgers in a 3-game series, they will play 3 times. Not every day, but 3 different days. Assuming we're going in order and it's not the beginning of the season, but you didn't ask that. That's a whole different quagmire. That's a whole different conversation. And let's keep this straight. Let's keep this serious and straight. 3-game series, we play 3 consecutive days. Now, let's say the next series would be a travel series, meaning you need at least 1 day to travel to go to your next destination. So if you're playing for 3 days and there's 7 days in the week and you're using the next day to travel and the next series is 3 games, that's 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of the 7. 6 out of the 7. Now, rolling over to the next week, you're probably going to have an extra day off. So when you have that extra day off, you're still going to rock with the same schedule unless you got home games. Unless you got home games, and let's just say you're going to have the next couple of games or the next series are going to be a 7-game or 6-game home series. We can go 7. 7-game home series with an extra day being taken off. So that next week, you're probably going to play about 5. You keeping up? And then the next week, which continues over with that home series that you have. So we already got some games to count for then. And now you're going on the road and you're going to have to do a road trip. And you're going to need that road day to travel, or travel day. And so you can take that away from the 7, but you've already got 2 accounted for. So now you're left with 4. And you have a 3-game series there, but then you got to travel again, and that's going to go into the next week. So now we're up to 5 for that week. How many games we up to total? You keeping count? You keeping count? Come on, it's 16, and we're 21 days in, and we've already at 16. And depending on how the final week is, that next series go, whether you're playing 6 games or whether you're playing 7 or whether you are playing 3 or 4 or some weird number, you're already at 16 games. I would say in a month you'll probably play somewhere in between 20, 21, 23, and it's easy to check. You can easily check my math. You can easily check my calculations. You know the best way to do this, but you asked me. For whatever reason, you asked me and you wanted me to let you know. You wanted me to shine a light on this situation. You wanted me to just tell it how it is, give you that real, even though you could have just went, pressed a couple of buttons, or asked a friend, or went to the website itself and looked at your favorite team or your team that you don't know about, because let's be serious, who watches baseball? Yes, I would raise my hand now, but I don't need to. You already know. How can I inform you on something you already know? Even though I maintain being a truth teller. I maintain being a truth teller. So I'll just say my hand was raised in spirit. Not my spirit animal, because my spirit animal is still RIP. If you know, you know. But my spirit animal is no longer with me. He's gone. Around 20, 21, 22, even possibly 23, depending on making up games or whatnot. But considering how many series that you're going to play in a week, and depending on what kind of series it is, whether it's a 3-game or 4-game, if it's a road trip, if it's a homestand, you are going to at least have somewhere around that number. But if you want to be more exact, when the schedule comes out, when there's a schedule available for you to see, for you to put your eyes on and not take your eyes out, but just open up your eyes and read, or open up your eyes and assume, or open up your eyes and play make believe. Whatever works for you, whatever works best. And when you do that, you'll see that team plays no day, team plays no day, and you take all of the things that you need to count. You're going to run out of hands. You're going to run out of fingers. You might can use your toes too, but I'd suggest you keep those shoes on. I'd suggest you keep those shoes on and find some other objects to count with. And if that doesn't work, break out a calculator. If you don't have a calculator, use your cell phone. If you don't have a cell phone, ask a friend. If you don't have any friends, ask the imaginary friend that you talk to every day. He or her knows. He or her knows. And they will be able to give you the number. They will be able to give you the number that the number of games that the team play, because they'll be able to count it up. And when they count it up, it'll be there, and you will have an exact answer to the question. However, if you wanted to just estimate it out how I did, you can use that method. I do not have a license. I am not making money off of it. I will not sell it to you. It is free for you to use at your own will. You can use it anytime you want to use it. I don't care. I don't care. But the thing is, that leads me to, I guess I don't care, but sharing is caring. And having your NFL or your NFL quarterback getting paid way more. But let's break this down, because this is not story time, but this is complex time. This is complex thinking time, a little bit outside the box thinking time. This is a little bit creative thinking, linear, sporadic. Hey, just know this: thinking is involved. Depending on when the quarterback's around, if you have a rookie quarterback, your rookie quarterback is on the rookie deal, so he's usually not getting paid. Actually, he's not getting paid more than the other players around. But the rookie deal didn't come around until later on, because there was a point where rookie quarterbacks were coming in and getting drafted, and they were getting paid in the ransom. They were getting paid a lot of money. Some rookie quarterbacks were getting hurt on that deal and just not living up to it. Others just wasn't good enough, but there was no way to know whether the quarterback can transfer his college skills into the NFL. But that was the risk that you took, and that was the risk that a lot of teams took. Then they finally came to their senses. Then they finally came to their senses, and a collective bargaining agreement, the new collective bargaining agreement at that time, put a cap on how much you can pay rookies, how much you can pay rookie quarterbacks in a number of years. And it's more team friendly, is more franchise friendly. So if you are a quarterback coming in past the change of that CBA, then you will feel the effects of this. But if you were a quarterback that came in before that, which I don't think any are left, don't quote me on it. Don't quote me on it. You got paid a lot, and you got paid a lot off the potential and not necessarily what you were doing, and the money that you were getting was a lot. So in that sense, yes, the quarterback was getting paid far more than the rest of the players. There's another caveat. And that's why I say this is time to think. This is the thinking time, and just go ahead. It's okay to think. It's okay to have big thoughts. It's okay to have dreams. It's okay to imagine too. I imagine a lot, but I don't imagine dragons. My fantasy is something else. But you ain't here for that. And I don't play fantasy sports. So we even. That's assuming that there's no playmaker on the team already. The playmaker, a skill player on offense, a receiver, or even there occasionally there's a offensive lineman, more than likely a left tackle. that's getting paid a lot because he is the best or one of the best in the game. And what's the point of running crazy long developing plays if you can't keep the quarterback upright, if you can't protect the quarterback, or if you can't make running lanes for the running back to go through? Or you have the receiver that's getting paid the mega bucks because he gets separation, he gets open, he creates a target for the quarterback to throw to because his catching radius is amazing. The catching radius, basically throwing your ball anywhere close to him, he's able to snag it, able to grab it, able to catch it. And then there's the yak, yards after catch. But I don't think they count for much anymore, or they don't use that terminology. But now you know you have a secret that no one else knows. You can pat yourself on the back. I will pat myself on the back, but I'm humble. I'm humble. Now, those instances, those playmakers on offense, whether it's the receiver, even a running back sometime, but that's not the case anymore. But a playmaker on offense or your left tackle can possibly still get paid more than the quarterback. And I haven't went over to the defensive side where you have a playmaker or playmakers there, usually one of the linebackers, middle linebacker, weak side linebacker. Then you have a defensive end who gets sacks and can run stop as well. That's extremely rare that you can do both. Or a safety, a ball hawk safety that makes plays. So there are a few more positions on defense that could possibly get paid more than a quarterback. But these are quarterbacks, or this is for an instance where the quarterback is just good, past serviceable, past mediocre, but good, probably teetering on great. But if you have one of the best of the best of the best, he's the highest paid. He is the highest paid. He is the highest paid for a reason. He wins you games. Sure, you need a defense to stop the other team. I get that. Sure, you need somebody to catch the ball when he throws it. I get that. Sure, you're going to need a running game to balance or to at least keep the defense honest. I get that. But with this quarterback on your team, he allows the team to overcome mistakes, because there are going to be mistakes within a football game. It's just hard to go through the entire game without making mistakes. But having this great quarterback on your team, he's able to help the team bounce back, allow the team to overcome mistakes and win the game still. Or in the last few seconds, when the team needs a touchdown, when the team needs a drive, when the team needs to score, he has the ability to put the team on his back and carry them. Basically, the team don't win in spite of him. They win because of him, and not necessarily lose because of him. It happens, but more often than not, he is the reason that the team wins. He is the person, the player on the team that the defensive coordinator on the other team is having late nights trying to trick, trying to create a game plan to stop him. He is the guy that the other team game plan around to stop, but they know they can't stop and take away everything, so they pick what they want to take away during each play. It's a cat and mouse game, because they know if they keep doing the same thing, this great quarterback is smart enough to understand what's happening and what's going on, and you would get burned and you would get beat. To have a player on a team that's worth that much and do all of those things, being able to do all those things, making the game, making situations easier for the other players, having the ability to bring the team back, keeping that mindset that it doesn't matter, just give us the ball or give us an opportunity, we can win because of him. And that creates this vibe, that creates this aura, that creates this magic where it's confidence, not fake confidence, not being arrogant to be arrogant, but this confidence, this self-confidence that we can do whatever. We got him. We can do whatever. And not to forget about what I mentioned earlier, the ability to make another team or another team, you pick, you choose, game plan around you, game plan to try to take away something that you like to do, but they're able to understand that they don't have this available to them, so they go to their next option, their next weapon, and playing that cat and mouse game throughout the entire game. And that's why the quarterback, that's why the National Football League quarterback gets paid so much, because what they expected to do, the weight they have on their shoulder, the importance of that position, what that position leads to. They touch the ball on offense every single down, assuming they aren't doing any trick plays, or the quarterback isn't playing receiver, or the quarterback isn't hurt. He touches the play. He calls the play. It's like having a coach on the field. Where have you heard that before? Oh, by the way, yes, you've heard that before. Quarterbacks in the NBA, National Basketball League, yes, they're called point guards, point forwards, and they are the quarterback on basketball. You know where to go. And that's why that they are paid so much, because of the value, the expectations, what they are supposed to do. And that's the great ones. And when you start bringing it down, and the reason that is brought down for other quarterbacks, because you win in spite of them sometimes, or you know that you can win with them, but so many things have to be perfect. You can't get away with making certain mistakes or key mistake. You can't do that anyway when it comes to turnovers, and you lose the turnover battle. But some quarterbacks are so great, and they are so good, they can still win games losing the turnover battle. It's rare. It's very, very rare. But it has happened before. And that's when the different phases of the football comes into play. In football, different phases coming into play. I know I have to get to college football better than professional football, college football better than national football. I get it. You enjoy seeing cupcakes get beat up. You enjoy seeing teams that are stacked just destroying teams that have no chance or opportunity. Because in college football, it's really not fighting a fair fight. Some colleges are ran like a pro organization. Doesn't mean they can beat one. But they're ran like one. They get professional players, or the majority of their players come in are blue chips. The majority of their players come in, will be going to the league, and will be getting a spot. And there's only so many spots available in the National Football League. And for a college team to have the majority of those players when other college team doesn't have the majority of those players, you do the math. You think about it. If those teams don't win, or if they don't make it to the end, it's because they took a game off, or because they went out and partied too hard at the local tavern, or some version of that. You got these powerhouses, and there's a few. Then you have the ones a little bit under powerhouses who think they are powerhouses or used to be powerhouses, but they're not anymore. So they're a little bit powerhouse-ish, like-esque. I gave you many options. And with that being college football, where sorta there are upsets, but not really. And the upsets really aren't upsets because how can they be? You can quote me on that. How can they be? Teams, it's not even. The fight isn't fair. One team is outmanned, outgunned. The other team is just doing it for the love of the game? Really? So professional football players don't do it for the love of the game? Really? You mean taking those hits and putting in the work that they put in isn't for the love? They do that for the money because it's work, it's a job? Hey, if I was in a position to have that job and to do that work, I would not. My love doesn't hurt me. My love does not work that way. But if yours do, fine. I'm not judging, but I'm just saying there's a different perspective here. Just saying. And so that argument I can't buy, that the college players do it for the love. And then there's a larger picture of the college players where they're doing this for free. That part I can't get by. I know, yeah, call me names, blah, blah, blah. But I've been saying this and I've been consistent with it for decades. Welcome to the club. Or thank you for tuning in. It's one of them. So I'm not buying that argument either. If it was an even playing field where the level of the players were the same, and then I can see that. Because NFL Open and College Open are completely different things. You have wide receivers running free in college. NFL, it's a tight coverage where the quarterback has to fit the ball in something small like this, where in college it gets bigger. That's one difference. Another difference is the competition. The competition varies. The competition isn't the same. The competition really isn't on a balanced level. One team can get multiple first, second round draft picks. Another, and what I mean by that, blue chips, players that are coming out of their high school and deemed the best of the best. And I know that every player coming out doesn't really meet expectations, or sometimes they don't meet expectations, but the talent is there. Them not beating expectations for one reason or another is a different argument. You can't have it both ways. So they're having the blue chips, or the players that are deemed the best. One team collects those, another team collects the players that are just getting by, that are just trying to develop, or there's something, or there's multiple things wrong with their game and they're just trying to figure it out, or there's a weight issue, meaning they don't weigh enough, or they're undersized, or what have you. And other teams are full of those, with maybe a blue chip here or there, or 2-star or 3-star here or there. The competition balance isn't there. NFL, it's always there. Any given Sunday, a team can win, lose. Any given Saturday, yeah, I get it, but for different reasons. And I'm being a little nuanced here, and if you don't see the nuance, I'm not going to convince you anyway. If you don't understand or see the nuance, it's okay. I'm going to keep going though. I'm going to keep going. NFL Open, College Open, completely different. It's bad. Players in college, you got on regular teams, their linemen are okay, not really fast. NFL, the linemen are just as fast, some of them, as the quarterback or just as fast as some of the skilled players. You have the best of the best of the best of the best of the best on NFL teams. And just because a player isn't really that good in the NFL doesn't mean that he can't run your college. And what I mean by run, be the best there, making all kinds of plays. There's only a few spots. And if you aren't up to snuff and if you aren't meeting the demand, you get replaced, you get cut, and they on to the next one. College, you kind of get to be there. You kind of get to just sing, dance, have fun, and enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. And it's not to say that college can't be interesting. College can't be fun. There are upsets sometimes because you just don't show. You're not motivated enough because who likes to keep beating up on a little guy? Who likes to keep getting beat up? Or who likes to keep beating up the cupcakes? At some point, you'd be like, they're not fighting back. They want to fight back anymore. All right. I guess we're done with that for now. We're done with that for now. So I don't know. I don't know. I can't get in their mind. I can't mind read just yet. It's definitely a skill set that I've been working on. It's definitely a skill set that I've been working on. But for the most part, to be fair, which I think I have been, saying college football is better than NFL National Professional Football, that is, I'm gonna make you wait for it again. That is an agenda. An agenda. I said it. It's bad football unless you have two of the heavyweights fighting against each other. Two of the heavyweights fighting amongst themselves for supremacy. Two of the best teams with the blue chippers and the players that I spoke of that would be going to the NFL playing against each other. It'll be like two NFL teams playing against each other, but they're not NFL teams. They're just college teams with college players, with the majority of their players going to be NFL players. When those two teams get together, then we have good football. Then we have better football. Then the College Open is no longer the College Open. The College Open is somewhat the NFL Open. The linebackers and some of the linemen can run just as fast as the skilled player. The skill sets of both teams are closer. And the skill sets of both teams are amazingly, outstandingly better, superior. Then I will give it to you. If that's the case and all those criteria are met, if that's the case and there's no random variables, I'd be like, yeah, give me some of that. That college football it's good. But when you're getting these powerhouses and they're playing mediocre to bad teams and they're scoring 60 and they're scoring 50 and sometimes 70, is it a points thing? Is it the more points equals feel good? More points equal I feel better? More points equals wow, that game was amazing. Really? Did you watch it? How many broken coverages? Wow, that quarterback threw to a wide open receiver and he ran for about 80 yards. Whoa, he ran a touchdown back from kickoff. Ooh, he took the ball and he took it to the house, 70-yard run. Whoa, where's the defense? Where's the coverage? Kickoff coverage. Where are the linebackers filling their gaps? Where are the concepts? Where is the fundamentals being placed on the field, the fundamentals within the game? Or what about the game within the game? What about being able to take away a quarterback's strength? What about the things that actually mean a little bit more to those of us who think a little bit and not just going off on pure emotions like, yeah, to just say, yeah, every time there's a score, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, that's a score, there's a score, oh, it's 70, it's 50, oh, or a team gets up big and they stop doing what they do to get up big and the momentum flips. Yeah, momentum, go figure. And the other team scores and scores and scores, and then next thing you know, they came back to win and it was down by 30. How is that good football? Sure, it happens in the NFL from time to time. It does. And when it happens, that team gets berated. That coach gets questioned. Stuff hits the fan when it happens in the NFL. But when it happens in college, it's like, oh, it's just a regular college game. Oh, it's so amazing. Duh, the atmosphere. Oh, that was the best thing. Yeah, but did you see the game? Did you watch the game? Scoring a lot of points doesn't make it a good game. Blowing a lead doesn't make it a good game. Being a close game doesn't make it a good game. Well, don't let me speak for you. Don't let me speak for you. I'm just saying, for me, it doesn't make it a good game. But I get it. I understand. I think I can put my finger on it. I know why. I know why that some people feel that college football is better than professional football. It's the overtime. It's the overtime rules. That's what it is. I figured it out. So what do you think? Do you think now that you can come up with off the fly how many games a professional basketball or a professional baseball team can play in a month? Yeah. Or do you understand the concepts or the reasons why that quarterbacks get paid more than some of their team? But it's not always the case, because the quarterback can be young, developing, or it can just be bad, serviceable. You can win with him, but you're not winning because of him. And so there's different levels of that. And also, are you one of these people who still believe that college football is better than the NFL? If so, make that make sense for me. And I'm asking nicely, so you should be nice to make that make sense for me. There's so many concepts, there's so many questions that I like to try to understand a little bit better, and only you can help me. Only you.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.